Hey everyone! Now that the Missing Starter series is over, I wanted to see what everyone else was doing, so I hopped on Instagram and checked out what's trending. What caught my eye most was a challenge to make brand new Pokemon using existing Pokemon names. For example, an artist, Astray, made this awesome Fakemon called Staraptor, a literal star raptor using the original Staraptor's name. So I'm gonna try my hand at a few of these. I also set a little bit of a personal challenge for myself for this video. I wanted to make one regular Pokemon, one evolutionary line to challenge myself to find two names that work together. I wanted an evolution or pre-evolution to an existing Pokemon, and finally I wanted to use a legendary's name to make a new Pokemon to finish it off. I'll let you know now that the names I used are Pangoro, Rufflet, Shroodle, and Reshiram. So leave a comment guessing what kind of new Pokemon you think I'll make using these names, and leave a like while you're down there. But let's get started with the first new Pokemon. I started this project by simply looking through the Pokedex, where I stumbled upon Pangoro. Pangoro's name comes from Panda and Gorotsuki, meaning rogue in Japanese. Luckily, there is an animal that desperately needs a Pokemon that starts with P-A-N-G-O, that being the pangolin. So I just had to figure out something for the Oro part of the name, and I was golden. Wait a minute. Oro in Spanish means gold, so I can make a golden pangolin Pokemon. I have a Pokemon here, but no concept. Luckily, I just played Tears of the Kingdom, and just learned that the Gorons are named from the word Goro, which is the sound of rolling in Japanese. Now I've got a rolling golden pangolin. Without further ado, let's roll on over and meet Pangoro, the golden Pokemon, from Pangolin, Oro, and Goro, a steel and normal type. They have the shell armor and bulletproof abilities, with good as gold as the hidden ability. Pangoro are incredibly rare in the wild. This is because they're overhunted by poachers for their valuable golden armor. They're able to roll up into a ball to travel quickly across the ground. Once in ball form, they are impenetrable from all sides. They use hills to their advantage, gaining momentum to escape from danger. Some paths where Pangoro often roll can be clearly seen on hillsides. Pangoro are very timid and prefer escaping to fighting back. They are illegal to catch unless a trainer has been endorsed by a professor to participate in the gym challenge, as these are the most trusted trainers. If you catch a shiny, it will be silver rather than gold, and have gray fur rather than brown, making it look monotone. I know what you might be thinking. This is an armadillo, not a pangolin, and I know, but they're relatively similar animals, and I think the small, cute, round design worked really well for an armadillo. I like to imagine though that this guy would evolve into a more clearly pangolin inspired Pokemon with big golden claws or something like that. I might even make that happen in a future video. Also, for this guy and all the other Pokemon I make today, I want you to suggest original names for them in the comments so that I can use them in a possible region someday. Next up is my two-stage evolutionary line. The next name that stood out to me was Shroodle, which is made up of both shrew and doodle. But to me, the name is clearly made for a shroom poodle Pokemon. And perfectly enough, poodles are one of the top 5 dogs used for hunting mushrooms. So it'll be a poodle made of mushrooms that also hunts for mushrooms. Poodles are also classically shown to have these crazy haircuts, so that would work really well with the design. I did a little more research on this to refine my concept a bit, and I learned that the mushrooms that poodles are usually hunting for are truffles, which have a totally different look than the mushrooms you usually think about. And all of a sudden, something clicked. Shroodle would be my evolved form, while Rufflet would be my first form. Rufflet is usually a baby bird Pokemon whose name comes from ruffle, as in ruffled feathers. But this Rufflet's name comes from rough, like the barking of a dog, and is literally the word truffle but with the T moved to the end. So let's finally meet Rufflet, the truffle Pokemon, from Rough and Truffle, a grass and normal type. Rufflet are not classified as puppy Pokemon. They are simply living truffles that have become the shape to trick humans into caring for them. They don't do this to be misleading or evil, but simply for survival and to live a more posh life. It is eager to please humans and is a great family pet. They're extremely popular with richer families and trainers. In the wild, they spend much of their time underground, attaching themselves to tree roots and sharing nutrients in a symbiotic relationship. They cannot see, but have such amazing smell and hearing that they can maneuver terrain better than some Pokemon with great eyesight. Rufflet's truffle body grows very slowly, but when it becomes too big, truffles will fall off. These shed truffles can be sold at a really high price. Rufflet has the abilities Cute Charm and Mycelium Might, and the hidden ability Regenerator. Its shiny is a dark green, alluding to that grass type a bit more. I know that Rufflet seems very simple in design, being literally just a black baby poodle, and normally I would totally agree, but I think in this case, that's kind of the point. Like, it looks like it's a normal dog, but it's actually just all truffles, so it tricks humans. It will get more detailed in its evolution though, so don't worry. As I said, this thing is going to be called Strudel, so it definitely has to be a mushroom poodle. But in the design itself, I decided to make it look a little bit more like a pointer with arrow-like patterns on it, to emphasize how good of a tracker this Pokemon is. I'm also going to add a bow tie to make it look fancy, because truffles are fancy, and it will have big truffle parts, with the shaved part of fancy poodles looking like the inside of truffles. With that said, at level 26, your Rufflet will evolve into Strudel, the pointer Pokemon, from Shroom and Poodle, a grass and normal type. While Strudel are blind, they have one of the best senses of smell and hearing in the Pokemon world. This makes them the ultimate partner for any tracker. Their nose is pointed up, not only because they're posh, but because it helps them smell things more efficiently. Their ears are also highly mobile, so they're able to maneuver them in any way they need to hear things better. Strudel's truffles can be shaped in whichever way their trainer desires, and they're a common competitor against Furfrou in show dog competitions. They have the same abilities as Rufflet except for the Cute Charm ability, which was switched out for Stakeout. Again, for the shiny, the truffle parts become green and the tan parts become lighter, like how some truffles have lighter insides. I'm really happy with how this line turned out. It ended up having a lot more inspiration behind it than I originally thought it would, with it being kind of posh and fancy because truffles are worth so much in the real world. And Poodles already being kind of a posh looking dog, it all just worked together really well. Finally, I needed to make an evolution to an already existing Pokemon. Unfortunately, I haven't used a legendary's name yet, so that meant I had to get extra creative and create an evolution to a Pokemon using a legendary's name. I did some digging into the legendary names and landed on the three main Unova legendaries: Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem. I have absolutely no idea what any of these names mean, but what I do know is that Reshiram has the word ram in it, so if Reshi means anything significant, I can make an evolution to a goat or sheep Pokemon. Luckily for me, Reshi in the Hausa language means branch, and there's one specific grass type goat that could totally evolve into a branch ram, Go-Goat. I didn't want to just make a bigger Go-Goat though. I needed a real concept, a reason for this Pokemon to exist. And funny enough, Reshira in the Shona language means to relax. So I'll evolve Go-Goat into a tired, old, relaxing ram. No time to rest, because at level 50, your Go-Goat will evolve into Reshiram, the mount Pokemon. From Reshi, meaning branch, Reshira, meaning relax, and Ram. It's a pure grass type with the Sap Sipper and Grass Pelt abilities. Only Go-Goat that have put in years of hard work and effort can evolve into Reshiram. So don't let its relaxed nature fool you into thinking it's lazy. It earned this relaxation. As the mount Pokemon, upon evolution, Go-Goat's saddle has become a nice, fluffy couch for its trainer, and relaxing with its trainer is its favorite thing to do. Wild Reshiram are thought of as safe havens for small Pokemon, as they come to take naps on its back. They also know that Reshiram can protect them if need be, with their giant spiraling horns. It is said that wild Go-Goat will seek out a Reshiram for guidance once in their lifetime for knowledge and wisdom. Even though Reshiram are not Psychic type, they are very wise and can learn lots of Psychic type moves. I absolutely love this design, and I wouldn't have been able to make it without Reshiram. I wouldn't have been able to make any of these Pokemon without existing names. So let me know in the comments which one was your favorite and what names you'd like to see if I did this challenge again. Subscribe too to see my new videos every time I upload, and check out my video where I create new Pokemon based off of Tears of the Kingdom. Until next time, mwah, bye bye.